أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان. الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان. والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. صدق الله العظيم.
In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. The most beneficent, Allah, has taught you mankind the Quran by His mercy. He created man. He taught him eloquent speech. The sun and the moon run on the fixed courses, exactly calculated with measured out stages for each. And the herbs, or stars, and the trees, both prostrate. And the heaven He has raised high, and has set up the balance, in order that you may not transgress due balance. And observe the weight with equity, and do not make balance deficient. And the earth He has put for the creatures. Therein are fruits, date palms, and enclosing dates. And also corn with its leaves, and stalk for fodder, and sweet-scented plants. Which of the favors of your Lord you both, children and men, deny? Holy and true are the verses of Allah. Chapter 27, verses 1 to 13.
Most distinguished guest of this morning, DrTPS Vice Principals, Section Heads, graded members of the teacher faculty, my most beloved students, a very pleasant good morning to all of you. I am very happy to be here this morning in order to welcome DrTPS, a world-famous, renowned scientist, educationist, writer, public speaker, communicator, spiritual leader, psychotherapist, life skill trainer, and whatnot. He is a veteran in most of the fields of life and also a well-known philosopher. He has authored so many poems. Some of them are translated into Malayalam also. I think basically he is writing in English. Most of them, they are very philosophical, just like the poems written by Tirukural you might have heard. The lines are so meaningful, so deep. He has presented me one book 3 months back when we met in Chennai. During the principals conference, he was a main speaker, and there he addressed the principals, around 150 principals. There he has presented a book on life, a poem written by him, and a very deep and very philosophical approach towards life. He is a person who has traveled most of the countries and most of the states in India and worked in different departments. He worked in the space department as a scientist for more than 2 decades, and after that he has undertaken different responsibilities on deputation as well as on independent appointments. He was the Deputy Director of the Directorate General for the Cabinet Security, the Central Secretariat of India, Government of India, and also he was the Director of UGC Academic Staff College, University of Calicut, Kerala. He was the head of labs, that is Photo Lab and Training at ADRIN. ADRIN is the Advanced Data Processing Research Institute, Secunderabad. Those students who are interested in space technology, space science, etc. Of course, I am sure that you will have more questions to ask him and to get information. He was also a scientist in the Space Application Center, Ahmedabad. He was the Program Planning and Project Management ISRO headquarters, Bangalore. And also, he is a person who is with a social responsibility, social commitment, and many initiatives he has taken in spreading the education. One is the project called Lexia that he started in his native place, Shilcha or Jnanam, that he started in his native village, where 20 students are participating in one camp, and these 20 students are selected from different parts of the world. In this way, he has conducted so many different camps, and they are going back with a great insight. I am not going deep into these things because I am sure that you wish to listen him much more than what I am talking about him here. Sir, we are very much happy and we feel blessed by your presence and your coming to this institution. Let me make a very brief about International Indian School, Dammam. It is one of the largest community schools in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, in the eastern province of Saudi Arabia. This is a school which is not owned by anybody. It is a community-owned institution, and also it is under the patronage of the Ambassador of India, Embassy of India. It is supervised by the Ministry of Education in the Eastern Province. There are around 18,000 students studying here from various parts of India, that is starting from Kashmir to Cape Comorin, and in the east from Arunachal Pradesh to Maharashtra up to Bombay. And ours is a secular environment where all students, irrespective of their religion, caste, creed, community, language, lifestyle, all these aspects are different. They are all studying under one roof. So in short, we can say that in our school, we are envisaging a mini India, and the real nationalism is being developed in the classrooms of this school. In spite of the big number, we are maintaining very high standard of academics, very good discipline, and also the students are performing exceedingly well in the field of sports, games, then other cultural and literary activities, in English debate, public speaking, and all other activities. Now, this is a brief about the school, and the school is managed by an elected managing committee. The elected members are from among the parents of the students who are studying here. Their term is for 3 years. Among the 7 members elected, representing the parents all over India, one will be the chairman for 1 year, and the chairmanship will be changing after each year. Now, once again, on behalf of my school management, my staff and students, we extend a very warm welcome, and also I request Dr. Irfan, our senior headmaster, in order to present a bouquet of...
Namaskaram. Namaskaram. When you say Namaskaram, responding back with a Namaskaram is Bharatiya Samskaram. Thank you, Dr. Shafi, for accommodating me in between your heavy academic schedule. I know children enjoy general sessions because they can skip their normal boring classes, right? And I am seeing the teachers guarding them, seeing that they will speak, make noise. You can be comfortable there. If they speak, let them know. All of you can sit peacefully. Because if children don't make noise, who else will make noise in this world? few books, but not the book what he mentioned with me, and I wanted to give to children here. I want to call not those people. How many of you heard me earlier? Oh, those who attended my camp, I have few of them. Yeah, but I don't want you. Because Vishnu and all stayed with me more than 20 days, 21 days. He has traveled from Saudi to Kerala to my remote village alone, skipping the classes here, that too. Okay? Don't punish them for that. Tell me who is the most, they said somebody was very good, during principal was telling, we have got a lot of children who compete in different places. Good speakers. Who is the best speaker among here? Yeah, this is one problem with the children. When somebody, if I ask a question who is the best student, all others will look here and there because they know they are not. Right? None of you want to say that I am the person. If he is a good speaker, he should have courage to say that I am the speaker, but he don't. He needs a lot of people who are supporting him. Okay, so the chance is lost. Now the next chance, there was a brief intro about me, or maybe a more detailed intro about me by the principal. Other than those people who heard me, if you can tell 3 points, I can gift you 1 or 2 books. Come on, come forward. Okay, that chance is also lost. Yeah, come on. Run. If you, where are you from? कहाँ से? कानपुर से. Come here. You're here. You come on to YouTube. Yeah.
3 things about you, right? Sir, you are a space scientist.
Louder. Not to me, to the audience.
Sir is a space scientist, an educationist, and a good speaker. He also writes books.
Which book you want? That I will reserve among this. That's a book called Makers of India. It has got collection of names of different people who are famous in different fields. You can see from films to science field. All of you are clapping, but I am not very happy with your clapping. Stop. Not good enough. Stop. This person who is sitting there and all is doing like this. Clap, yeah, with the full force. Anything you do it nice. Stop. No. Clap. Stop. No. Okay, let me see whether you can clap. When I put my hand, fold like this, one single clap, no other diversion. Ready? You don't do this, you clap. Ready? Ready? Yes. Not enough. See, when I fold my fingers, you should clap, only one sound should come. No diversions, because when you turn that side, I may do it and you will miss the chance. And anybody want to talk to your friend, both of you can get out. Now look at me. Because if I drag one of you, it may not be the most talkative person, but if drag one of you and hit you, it will become problem for you, and I may go to jail. But both I don't care. Right? Ready? Ready? See, we believe the velocity of light and velocity of sound is much faster and there cannot be a coherence. It has to be unique. Ready? That's good enough. Now the second chance. When I put my hands down, you should stamp on the floor. Be a LKG student. Even otherwise you are behaving like LKG student. Yeah? Ready? Yes? See, I gave you one instruction, you could do it, but when the second instruction came, you forgot the first one. That is why children are not improving in this world. All of you raise your hands. Take it on your head. It's my Janma which is waste. I am so happy I am talking to representatives from India. Anybody from Northeast? Where are you from? Calcutta. Okay. Calcutta is not Northeast, beyond the Seven Sisters. Ami Bangla bolchi. Kemal ache? Happy? Good. Himalayam samarabhya yavat Hindu sarovaram tam devanarmidam desham Hindustanam prajakshati. Bharat is the only place where from Himalaya to India, Sarovaram, that's the Indian Ocean, we have got variety of things, and that's the beauty of India. I'm sure you're all blessed to be part of that nation, and blessed to be in a nation, the largest population outside India is in Saudi Arabia. Right? And I'm telling you, the person who came is from Kanpur. I was in UP for long years. 2 years I used to roam around a lot of schools. But I've seen the best schools most of the time is outside India. Because you can learn many things. Because you have got students from different part of the country. You are exposed to much higher society than what we have in India. And you're all blessed. But I'm sure most of you have attention. You're on 11th and 12th, right? 11th and 12th children may have attention. What will happen after 12th? Where do I go? And anyway, you have to go back to either India or to Europe or somewhere. Bahrain? Yeah, Bahrain is a wonderful place. That's good. But I've seen most of the time when you get out of this place, either in Europe or in India back, the problems are entirely different. And unless you have got a great aim in your life, many people ask me question, what should I do? Which subject I have to study? And I'm sure you must have been guided by hundreds of people on this is good, this is bad and all that. If somebody asks you which food is good for me, it's very difficult for any other person to suggest. It's you to decide which food is good for me. I say that up to your 10th class, your academics is like a buffet system where you can taste and decide which one you want. Having chosen commerce or mathematics or English or any of the subjects, understand these are all selecting a road for you to learn cycling. Maybe driving you are learning in a very specific brand vehicle. That doesn't mean in the whole life you are going to drive only that vehicle. I left my social science, biology after my 10th. I took maths, physics, chemistry. And then when we went to masters, only one subject. So I was fully into mathematics and statistics. So I'm a mathematician. I did my PhD. The subject of PhD was never a mathematics subject because it was close to physics. My subject is mechanics. So I took fluid mechanics. But then when I got a job, 20 years of my job was working with the computer. So I became a computer scientist. But what do I do on computer? My job was to take satellite image, take maps. When I have to make maps, I found that if I don't know geography, I become useless. So I started learning my 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, then 12th geography textbook. So probably I know geography much more than what I know in maths today. And when you get into a job after some time, it is not that you use satellite image, you will also be involved in creating projects for mathematics, projects in different subjects, create budget allocation for research in different fields. We will also have to buy items for making satellites and then sending it up. As we grow into higher ladder, our job becomes more than a scientist job into a purchase, stores, inventory control, and probably project management. So it becomes a management expert. So it was very close to maybe commerce, but that's not a subject which I never did. So what you study today is not important, and that is not what you are going to use in your life. Most of the children are confused because they don't know why I am studying this, what I am studying, why should I do this. I am sure if you have a very focused understanding of why am I doing, what am I doing, that's much better than getting good marks in exams. If you are going for any higher studies in any of the Western country, they are not going to look at your certificate. They don't even see whether you have a certificate or not. They will only ask you one question and one page, that is called SOP, Statement of Purpose. Why are you studying this program and why are you coming to my institute for this program? And if you can specifically write that, your selection is guaranteed, the funding is guaranteed. It's very hard for anybody to say that why am I living and why am I living in this part of the world, how am I living and what is my future plan. I was very happy to be in Dammam. I've done thousands of workshops, must have spoken to more than 8 lakhs of children like you, more than 5 lakhs of teachers. And I was very happy last January I had occasion to speak to principals, more than 100 principals from all the Gulf countries. And subsequently I was in Muscat for training teachers in Muscat, in Doha for training teachers in different schools in Doha. Next month I am in Kuwait, and after that I am in Bahrain, again in Muscat. But Dammam I came because of an organization called Panorama. It's a small district in Kerala. It's one of the latest districts in Kerala, Pathanamthitta. The Residents Association decided to get me here for a program, and the title of the program was so good, Design Your Future. How do I help somebody to design your future? Designing, we have good design for our buildings, we have good designs for business, but I don't know how many parents and how many children themselves will design their life. It's a great question, and when you get some nice topic, we start thinking and creatively and change your mode. And I enjoyed last 2 days with 100 children, nearly 50 boys and 50 girls, and we had 2 days of real enjoyment. I'm sure those who attended, do you agree that you had enjoyment? Yes or no? I'm not hearing the sound. How do you know? You didn't attend, right? Yeah. Because in life, most important is planning. If somebody asks you, what is that you want? It's very difficult for a child to answer most of the time. Because they keep changing. I said you keep changing, doesn't matter, but any point of time, keep one target. Maybe next month you can change it, doesn't matter. And you can keep changing it. Because as you grow, your aspiration will grow, your environment will change, your aspirations will change. I go to different places and give lectures on IAS. My program is called Destination IAS. Destination IAS. And that I keep doing for young children. And somebody asked me one day, why are you doing it for making somebody an IAS from a young child? I said, my IAS is not Indian Administrative Service, that's immediate academic success. Because if you don't become excellent in what you study today, IAS, immediate academic success, you can never achieve anything in life. So getting into IAS, immediate academic success. But what is the biggest problem? I'm a psychotherapist. Generally children will come and ask me a lot of questions. And today morning I was happy to listen in Dammam because there was a 8:30 program aired from Dubai under Asianet Radio. the book which I gifted to Life Made Simple was reviewed by the Asianet Radio. And with the Asianet Radio, they take up a book and then review once in a while. It's a new program started. And my book was taken for reviewing. And that book I created from Orkut discussions. Orkut is the great grandfather of Facebook, which we have. And during the Orkut time, there are a lot of children who used to ask me, a lot of friends ask me a lot of questions, and I answer them. And that's one of the book came out of social media. Many people, including parents, teachers, in the whole world say Facebook or any social media is bad. Anything is bad or good based on the way you react to it and the way you use it. I'm a person who used Facebook and Orkut, or using Facebook and Orkut. Orkut is no more now. Creating good, beautiful discussions where you can learn. The learning is possible from anything in the world. I keep telling my children, you must look at TV, maybe sit in front of TV for 3 hours, no problem. But after that, you must be able to create 5 pages out of what you have seen. Create knowledge from that, write it down, share it to somebody else. If you waste any point of time in your life now, LIFE, life is live in full enjoyment. As a student, your life has to be learn in full enjoyment. Because if you don't learn today, you are going to have problems. You can learn many things today, but the same stuff you give to your parents, they will not be able to learn as fast as this you can. This is the time where you can learn. Therefore, the time which you spend now, learning is an investment for future earning. That's life. Every bit of information which you collect today is going to pave a way for your tomorrow's great path in life. I'm sure it's boring to listen to such advices, because if you switch on anything, anywhere, you can listen to such advices. I'm not here to advise you. I'm only trying to tell you that learning has to be an enjoyment. Because if you don't enjoy, stop doing this business. You don't have to dress up like this and then show that you are a student. A student is one who has got passion for learning. Unfortunate to see the students are sitting here as if you are watching a movie. No paper, no pen. That itself shows there is no real core learning. How many of you have got a pen and paper with you now? Yeah, that's it. And how many of you have written how many lines from this? If you have not written anything, it's waste. And if you are too brilliant that you can put everything in the brain, it's fantastic. But I don't know how many of you have that ability. All of you should have the habit of writing. Whether you see a movie, don't see movies, don't watch movies. Learn a movie. Every bit of information which you get from movie is very important. Every bit of information what you get from any of the public media is very important. But you must have a habit of writing it, making note out of it. Otherwise, you are wasting time. The whole 12th class children up to now, when you are in 12 years of study, probably 2 years in KGs and 1 year in nursery, added together it is 15 years of academics. But 15 years, how much time you have really studied in your life? If you ask a question, it will count to be less than 2 years. So if you are 17 to 18 years, you have studied only 2 years. An 18-year-old child sleeps for 6 years, because 1/3 of your life you are sleeping. 8 hours in 24 hours is 1/3. 8 years you are sleeping and 2 years you are studying. And 6 plus 8, 8 years you have accounted. What is that you have done for the last 10 years? Out of 18 years, 10 years your life becomes mostly unaccounted. And if you don't start accounting your life, when you grow higher and reach up to 60 years, you will find you were sleeping for 20 years, probably studying for 3-4 years, eating for 3 years, but still you will see another 10-20 years unaccounted. Then no going back. You can no time get back to see that living a life which is lost. So I want all the youngsters to find out what you can do at every point of time in your life. That's a great investment which you can do. When you learn L-E-A-R-N, learn driving, generally there is an L board given. Once the learning is over, they remove the L board. Once you remove L from learn, it becomes earn. So if you learn well, I'm sure you can earn well. Only this much I have to speak. But now the forum is open for you to ask any questions if you want. I am going to evaluate how good the school is, because your principal says it's one of the best schools, wonderful schools and all. The number of questions and the standard of question which you ask will tell how good a children you are. You come here and ask me questions. How many of you want to ask questions? Raise your hands. Good, wonderful. Come here, but you have a gift from me. Where are you from? Introduce yourself.
I'm Izzat. I'm from Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
So I'll ask a question.
Yeah.
So my question is.
You are in 12th or 11th?
12th.
Okay. Which stream?
Science.
Science. That means you learn maths, physics, biology.
No, computers.
Oh. Okay, good.
Okay, my question is, when you were a child, did you actually want to become a space scientist?
It's one of the toughest questions which. When I was at 12th class, I never heard about ISRO. We never have a general knowledge information that there is a department called ISRO. The first time when I saw a TV was when I was doing my masters. In my village, electricity came when I was doing my PG. I am from a remote village where probably I never know anything. And aspiring to become a scientist was not in my diary, not of my cup of tea, because 11th class, now you are in 12th class, so you passed to 11th, right? Yeah. 11th class I failed in all exams except my mother tongue Malayalam. I got 4 marks out of 60, 7 marks out of 60 in chemistry, 4 marks out of 60 in mathematics. So I was not at all a good student. At his age, probably in 12th, I used to see 40 movies in 30 days in a month. But when I thoroughly failed after 12th, when I wanted to get an admission, I didn't get where I wanted. So for graduation, I changed 3 colleges. And my brother told me, you cannot study maths and you are a bad student. I am recording it and putting it on YouTube. I keep saying this. My brother told me, you cannot study maths. Then I said, I will show you that I will take PhD in mathematics. So, if there is a student who feels that, or somebody says that you cannot study, take it as a challenge and come back. 7th grade, I was thrown out of a school being the worst student. Last year, I went back to the same school, and the large auditorium, I was giving prizes for all the A+ winners. The best students got award from the school where I was thrown out. The principal never knew that I was an old student there. Then I said the same hall, I was humiliated in the assembly, showing that if you want to see the worst student, this is the boy, and next year he will not be in this school, we are throwing him out. So I'll tell you, take life as a challenge, and you can change yourself. Nobody can change you, but it's you who can change you. So thank you for a wonderful time. I'll give you a book, and this book is How to Approach Civil Service, not written by me. With me, my student wrote, and this student reached me when she was a second year BTech student 9 years back, and today she is in MIT. And you must know that the course fee for MIT for 3 years master's program is 3 crores. And this girl is paying 0 amount because she got full fellowship. So far she has written 40 subjects. 40 subjects examination is nearly 400 to 500 exams. Because every subject you have to write nearly 10 to 15 exams. And all the exams so far written, every paper she wrote, 3 hours examination she must have finished in 1 hour. And all the exams she scored 100 out of 100, and she's the only one student she got it, and she got 4 awards from MIT. So it's not my book, it's written by my student. Give that mirror to the UP fellow also, my card.
Firstly, good morning, sir, and good morning.
Look at them. Louder.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir, and good morning, ISD. So, the question I had was actually related to space science. And my question is, since NASA is investing so much in space technology, and ISRO not as much as NASA, but still they were able to launch 103 satellites using the PSLV recently. So, is it because they're investing at the right time and the right technology, or is it that NASA is less?
When you create a satellite, how much it can carry depends on the weight of the gadgets which you put there. You can put much heavier one, but only problem is you will not be able to take it to the higher heights. You have 140 kilometers in the atmosphere. The 140 kilometers, it is not pushed up. It is pushed like this. If I have to throw a stone to hit the light, I will not stand here and throw. I will go little back and throw like this, right? So that's called trajectory motion. So I will throw something from here to the south. It goes and lands in the sea or maybe in the other country. Little more south, if I throw with larger force, it goes to the pole. Little more force, if I throw, it goes out of the earth, and the 140 kilometers thrown. Once it is 140 kilometers out of the atmosphere, it is the universal gravity which controls it. So the weight of the satellite will decide where it will go and settle. So either one satellite or 140 satellite launching is not very difficult. It is not different also. The difference is, when you throw this out, they should not hit each other. So you must eject them at the right place, at the right space. So that it will not, the lighter satellite, I should throw it at a place, heavier satellite at a higher place. So that sequence of throwing is all controlled by the communication which we have. It is not that NASA cannot do that. There are, every day from this world, there are 20 or more satellites going up. And all country people keep sending it. When you send it, it is very simple, it is not difficult. But as a country, we have decided ISRO should do something. When we do something, other nations should say that, oh, India is also doing. So it is just to make our country pride. Believe that when our Prime Minister goes to some country, he gets prestige, he gets a lot of warm welcome because of all the work which we do in India. And one of the best contributor for the regards which our nation gets is from department like Space Department, because we can expose and tell that we are doing it. So while making Department of Space itself, the mission was, we have to make other country to say, wow, India is doing. So that's one of our challenges. NASA is not a government-owned project running organization. It's all run commercially. Because there will be a contractor who makes a satellite. NASA will help them to design it, for which they charge him. When the data goes, you will see a lot of Google Maps. All the satellite maps which Google use, Google have to pay the satellite owner. But we make satellite images for the nation to use. It's all mostly free. It's for the government project, for the government, done by the government. So NASA cannot do these sort of a prestige improving programs because they look for money. So that's a basic difference between NASA and America is a country of business. Anything which they do is business, because there are no American nationals who are in that country to say that America is my nation. You know the way the president addresses, oh countrymen. So America is a country, India is a nation, because we have a feeling that it belongs to us, whereas American people don't have a feeling that it belongs to them. That's the difference. Okay. So give it a try. Better. Good question. Wonderful. Come on.
like SpaceX is doing? What is the ISRO's plan?
For Mars exploration, we already had a Mars mission. We had a moon mission. Again, I told you, it is not to get something from Mars. It is not to get water from moon. We are sending satellite to moon. It's again to say that we can send things to moon. We belong to one of the 4 nations where we could send something to moon to take some pictures, and we had the first stereo mission where we can take the pictures and make the measurement of the ditches and the hills in the moon. Okay. Similarly, we also send something to Mars to say that we can send something to Mars. So it is not ISRO's mission is not to go to Mars to get whether minerals are there, what can be done there. So again, to prove our prestige, we will be able to send, and we will keep sending these things. Okay, it's good enough. Where are you from?
I'm from Gujarat.
Gujarat, wonderful. That's the place where I started my job, in Space Department, Space Application Center, Ahmedabad.
So can I ask you?
Yeah.
So if you can give one advice to your younger self while he was entering college or while he was passing 12, what would it be?
To me,
Yeah, your younger self.
enjoy what you do. Enjoy what you do. Create your passion and hunt for your passion. And that's what I did also. So when I entered college, I decided my passion is going to be this, and I studied that subject. And I also enjoyed writing, reading, translations, and that's how I learned. So any one of you who have not found what you, most of the problem for children are because you don't have a passion, and you have a passion which is just time pass, nothing else. A passion should be something which not defined for a shorter term, a longer life. Yeah, it drives you, and you will work for that with all the effort. And passion should not be reaching on top of the mountain when a helicopter makes you to land there. It's that you climb that step so that you get the enjoyment. The path itself becomes an enjoyment. That's what it is. Yeah. Will you be able to clap once? Then stop. No more discussions. If you want to ask questions here. Yeah. Come here. You could come. All the three of you could come. Come on. Whoever reaches first will get the mic. That's it. Yeah, louder.
Good morning everyone. My name is Adnan Ahmed and I study in class 12J. So my question for sir is, we as humans have the tendency to innovate. So what are the innovations that we need in education?
Innovation is something which you can do at any point of time. But don't try for innovations and inventions. The chances are very less. As a child, what you should try is improvisation. Improvisation is a small change which you can do from what you have around you. That could be in terms of education. I don't know how many of you have learned Bernoulli's principle. When you learn Bernoulli's principle, speak, I don't know. Stop! It's like a child, yeah, LKG children. The biggest problem with the youth is you don't know how to keep silent. I am a meditation master from Himalayas. What we generally teach people are how to be silent. Hold this. You will see it bends down. If I want to lift it up, I have to put some support from bottom. But if I just blow air, it lifts up. This is the basic principle which is used for lifting an aircraft. Bernoulli's principle which you learn in your classroom, if a teacher would use this small bit of paper which says the pressure of airflow makes the vacuum there. When you have little vacuum or the flow increases, the pressure reduces and there is a bigger pressure from bottom, it lifts it up. Showing it is entirely different from, correct? So how do you contribute in education? I'll tell you, you don't require anybody's help. Take a chapter, look at it, create something around it, use all the media available around you, create your own class lectures, make a small group, start discussing and learning. That's the best method.
Sir, and one more question.
Yeah.
And my second question to sir is that, sir, everyone has a different pathway of learning. And when we come to school, our way of learning is limited to one.
Yeah.
So do you think that's the problem or the students themselves?
It is not the problem of instruction, because as a teacher, as a student, you have got to do some job. That doing job could be the first starter which is provided, or maybe the spring roll which you get served by the chef. But after that you have got a buffet system, right? So the starting point is what is provided in the classrooms. No teachers in this world teaches any concept more than 25% in classrooms. So what you can learn in classroom is only 25%. The rest of the 70%, 25% you have to learn by yourself, and next to 25% you have to make your group and then learn. 25 from the classroom by the teachers, 25 by self, 25 by the group, the rest 25 you can learn only later part of your life. How many of you seen 3 Idiots movie? Yeah. Have you seen somebody standing on the podium and then by all the mistakes added together there is a sloka which is standard Acharyat Padamadate Padam Shishya Somedaya Padam Sa Brahmacharibhya Padam Kalakramenacha. What I just told you, Acharyat Padamadate. Padam, 1/4 is by the Acharya, the teachers, 1/4 by the students, 1/4 by the group, and 1/4 later part of your life. This is the essence. I am sure most of you must have laughed as the podium, from the podium when the sound came, the camera moves not to the podium but to the audience who are listening like this, and all of them are laughing, and you are sitting in the theater watching both, you also laugh without knowing what is being told to them. Without knowing, when you see somebody smiling, you will laugh. Why did you laugh? I don't know. This is the trick in the movie. Why do you do this? This is for you to go and find out which sloka he chanted and what mistake he did, what is the original one, what is the essence of that. If you don't do that, the whole cinema becomes just time pass and waste for you. You are wasting lot of time like this without understanding the essence of it. And that is where you should change. Okay? I am sure many children will come and tell me generally that I have no concentration in the class. And I will tell you, most of the teachers beg your concentration. They keep on asking, please listen, please listen. And luckily the students don't even listen that, and they don't listen at all. Because from the class, from the way you speak, you cannot grab the attention of children. There is no point in begging for attention. Today morning in the book review, one of the points which he said was, never become a beggar but be a giver. Now once you do this, I am sure when you are giving, probably in the beginning there could be some disturbance. Even if you are good, probably your neighbor is a bad fellow, he starts disturbing you. The best thing is, you don't like to get disturbed, nobody can disturb you. If somebody says my neighbor is disturbing, because it's your intention that you have to get disturbed. If you want to have attention, it's very simple. So in the classroom, you have this problem. Many children will come and say that I am not able to concentrate. Why are you not able to concentrate? The way he said, the teachers apply to everybody, and it may not be of your taste. The frequency may be different. That's called in pedagogies, the teaching methods, it is called the different styles. So a teacher uses different styles. A mathematics teacher may ask you to think, and that becomes a discovery style of teaching. But you cannot do this in the history. So they will say deductive method. They will tell a story and this is the message they will say. So they have to try all these because the students are of different style. So they may repeat many times. And if there is a bright student who can capture it in the first sentence itself, he will see that no, he will wait for 2 more sentences to come because it's the practice of the teachers to repeat it 3 times. And it becomes boring for them. So most of the children don't attend in the class because the teachers use different style, and as you said, everybody is having different taste. How do you accommodate? It's very difficult. But the same student goes for a movie. Are you able to concentrate 2 hours in a movie theater? Why? Do you think the director will come in the between and then say, please listen to that movie? I have not seen anybody saying, I have no attention, I don't understand what is going on. That's because movie is made as a thrilling program. But I don't know how many classes are so thrilling that you're eager to know that what is in the next page in your textbook. Yes, you are eager to know in the next page because you want to know whether the end of the page or not, right? So you should have that eagerness, that enthusiasm to learn, the quest for learning with a lot of questions. With a lot of questions you start reading. That is what is to be done. Good? Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Come here, the camera is here. You will come on to YouTube.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
My name is Mohammed Abdullah. My question is that we are right now at the age 9.
All these disturbances also will be recorded. And it will tell you one of the schools where we had large disturbance is this school. So keep quiet.
When we are in 9, 10, and 11, 12, we are all told it's a sensitive age. If we see...
Who says sensitive age? Where is your sensitive age? See, I'll tell you, you think that you are in a sensitive age. A small child of 4 years is also sensitive. Are you that sensitive?
No, sir.
We keep growing. That's what is maturity. Okay. The sensitivity comes because, especially for boys, whatever you feel, you cannot tell your mother. Whatever you feel, you cannot tell your father. So you keep telling your friend. And he is totally illiterate and uneducated. So he starts advising you something. So you are fully into trouble. Whereas girls are little more matured because they have a freedom to go and tell anything to their mother. That's the difference. I'm a psychologist, so I learned the psychology of boys and girls. And that's why it is called teenage, 13 to 19. You all have this problem. That is where you should change your focus and say, this is what I want to do. Then you will never be sensitive.
No, sir. My thing was, it's not about sensitivity. We are told that we are, and when we come across any...
Will you clap once? The clapping is to ask you to keep quiet. If you don't have questions, no problem. But listen to somebody's questions. If you are not educated, no problem. But listen to some educated fellow, yeah?
My question is that people keep telling us, our parents like this is a very sensitive age. If one of the kids are very rebellious, the mom will be like, okay, calm down. They tell the husband to calm down. Because if they're too rebellious, it could be troublesome. Yeah. And if we come across any problem in life that it's too big, we think it is too big, we just try to find the shortcuts. That is, we just go off a ramp or something.
Yeah.
And it's very common. I myself have once or twice come across that feeling.
Okay.
And when I confronted my mom, she's like, it's very normal. It happens to everyone. You should not give into that thing.
Yeah.
But many times we are not able to tell that to our parents or even to our friends. And this feeling keeps growing from within. And it could come to a point where we could actually think of doing that. Many kids in India, especially during the board exams, also we heard exam got over and kids just went off a ramp. So how we should go and ask someone. We should have
to all the students who are writing exams, I have a wonderful message from the question. 30 points to students, 20 points to parents and teachers. There is a block. Refer that. You will start enjoying your learning and also exams. Exam hall is a wonderful place where you can show that you have knowledge. All the problems which you think is a big problem is not a big problem. If at all you have such a situation, what you should do is you must understand how are you going to get rid of this problem instead of thinking about the problem. Got it? That's the best method.
Thank you, sir.
I have to close the session because I have to go to the next school for the next session. So thank you. Bye bye. God bless you.
Dear boys, address is here. Visiting card also. If required, we will distribute or we will display on the screen, and you can take it down. If you wish to contact him, there are different ways you can contact him, and he is a great advisor, great guide. You can use that for your future and for your life. That will be good. Now, I request Dr. Reply to use out of time.
You can search me on internet as DrTPS and put the phone number. You will get my telephone number, WhatsApp, Facebook, everything.
Stop talking. Stop talking. I am extremely thankful to Dr. Shashi Kumar for spending his valuable time with us, and the way he has interacted with our students, the most influential way. He has shared many very interesting things, interesting facts, and of course whatever his capabilities are there, we don't have time to get it, but surely our students are beneficial after getting this small session. I am thankful to Manorama organization, their representative, our esteemed principal and head of the institution to provide such an opportunity. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. But don't
Can I take it for you?
CMS St. Thomas. ഞാൻ എല്ലാ കോളേജിലും പോയിട്ട്
St. Thomas ബസ്സിൽ ഞാൻ